Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, this is your brother Azharul. Welcome back to another episode of Friday Naseeha. Today we have Ustad Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feek, Sheikh. My question to you is, the topic of the khutbah was about immorality, how we should deal with this and things like that. My question is a bit specific today. It's about porn addiction. A lot of people, they watch porn. We know that for its effect. Okay, because now many times we see drug addicted person or the person who is addicted to certain things like gambling, for example. We can tell by their looks or their appearance or their habit and whatever they do, their behavior, we can tell. But when someone is porn addicted, we can't really tell. What do you think would be the signs that someone can tell himself, okay, I'm porn addicted now, I have to do something?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa afdal as-salatu wa tammu at-taslim ala sayyidi khalqillahi ajma'in wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man sara ala sabilihi wa nahjihi wa istanna bi sunnatihi wa ihtada bi hadihi ila yawmiddin wa sallama tasliman kathira, amma ba'd. You're right, unfortunately this is something which is common within our society, even amongst people who claim to be practicing, people who you see that they are practicing and you think that they are practicing, they unfortunately suffer from this type of addiction, this type of problem. So what are some of the alamat, some of the signs of this sin? Of porn addiction? There are a number of signs if you look at a number of studies that have been conducted, but a number of studies, the first of those main signs is that a person, they become hooked onto it. So when they see it once, it's not enough for them, so they have to continuously take it. It becomes like an addiction, one after another. So a person takes a cigarette, so they can't get off that habit very easily, so they have to take another cigarette, then they realize they've taken 5-6 cigarettes a day. Same perception. You see one video, you see one thing, okay, it's not enough, I have to see something else, I have to see something else, and it just becomes like that. That's number one. Number two is, from the signs, is that it increases. So something, unfortunately, in our society today is downplayed. It's not considered something which is evil, something which is sinful, because it's everywhere that we see billboards and TV adverts. If you, like I mentioned in today's khutbah, you want to watch a lecture or Quran recitation on YouTube, something will come up, and we think because it's YouTube, it's fine. If it was porn addiction or if it was pornography, then it would have been banned. But then slowly these things actually chipping away at a person's iman, destroying a person's iman. So a person increases. So they might see something which is something small, perhaps something of intimacy, but it's nothing major. But then after that, it's not sufficient for them, so it increases, and they say that this is not enough. They have to look at something more extreme, more highly rated. That's number two. Number three is that if it's a man, then their perception of women changes. So they will only see the perception of women as being objects of gratification, flash. They will have no human treatment. And there's been studies done whereby these men were watching these porn videos and whatnot, and then they looked at their brains and then they gave them the perception of women. How do you treat women? They would compare women to meat, just to see objects of gratification, just for self-pleasure. So those are three common signs, and it can be the opposite for women as well. And that's from the
What about someone, maybe they watch porn too many times and they don't have the remorse, they don't have the regret? Do you think that's a sign as well? They don't have the regret, they don't
like
feel
I
it
said,
anymore.
increases. If the person has iman, then they would have stopped from the beginning. They would have realized it's a sin, okay? But then they didn't stop, they continued. The Prophet, he told us in an authentic hadith that verily when the person, they commit a sin, a black dot is placed on their heart. Then another sin is committed, when they commit another black dot, until the heart becomes fully black. When your heart is black, how can the light of Allah, how can you see things clearly, how can the light of the sunnah penetrate into the heart? Does that make sense? So when you see it so many times, you become desensitized to it, and you become accustomed to it. And then after that, it begins to have, like I mentioned in today's khutbah, it begins to have after effects. So consequences that come later on. So a person is, they don't have happiness in their marriage, because what they see is, that's their perception, which is fake. It's not real. And so what the relationship between their spouse, between their husband, between their wife isn't real, and so it begins to cause discord and problems in the marital home, and so then it can end in divorce. So it has an effect on their partner.
So these are the signs of someone who's porn addicted.
Yeah.